Hey everyone, Happy New Year! We kicked off the year with a trip to Bowen Lookout at Cypress Mountain, where we saw our first snow of the season. It was magical, and I wanted to turn that memory into something special, a family illustration keepsake for our fridge. So here I have my family picture and I want to illustrate this. So to start with, I'll go to my Procreate. I'll create a new canvas by clicking on this plus icon, and for now I can just go with the screen size. So screen size can be different for all of you that have different screen sizes. If you really are into the settings, you can go for 3000 pixels by 3000 pixels at 300 dpi at least. So to add the picture to my canvas, what I'll do is I'll go to this wrench icon, that is actions, add, insert a photo, and then I'll click that photo and it is imported. So instead of like pinching it, I will just click on this arrow icon so that I am not selecting this particular picture, and then I'll squeeze it, because if I do that, if I squeeze it, it will actually squeeze the picture on the canvas instead of the full canvas. So if your picture is something like this, just click on fit to canvas so that your picture fits to your canvas perfectly. So your picture will be on layer 1. Just rename it by clicking on it, and I'll just rename it as picture. Now I'll reduce the opacity of this picture by clicking on this N icon, and you can see this opacity bar, and I'll reduce the opacity to maybe like 35%, right? And I'll create a new layer on top of this. So this will be, I'll rename it quickly, this will be my outline. So now to start with, I usually go for a very beautiful pen, that is Studio Pen in inking section. So now I have Studio Pen here, and this is pressure sensitive pen. So I'll keep the size of my pen at 3%. Okay, so you can select the sizes from this upper section, and the lower section is about opacity of this particular brush. This is undo and this is redo, right? So to start with, what I am simply going to do here is I'm going to outline everyone, right? And about the features, I'm not going to do like proper features here. Instead, what I'll do, I'll increase the size to 8%, and I'll simply make an arc like this for the eyes. For her, I don't need to make eyes, I can make her specs, and that's me. I'll make eyes like this, right? And then like this, like this. Okay, so these are the eyes. For the eyebrows, not too much of the details. So eyes and eyebrows are done. Then I'll reduce the size to 3%, and I'll start outlining the whole shapes. So once the whole line is done, I can hide the picture layer by clicking on this checkbox, and here is my outline. Now there are a few things to remember while doing this outline. You have to make sure that each shape that you create should be a closed area, because we are going to color drop, and if it is it have like this kind of openness, the color will bleed out from that particular area. Let's complete the beard part as well for both of them. So once the outline is done, I'll hide this and we have the final picture. Now it's time to color them. So to do that, I'll create a new layer below the outline layer, so all the colored layers will stay under this outline layer. So I selected the picture layer, and now I click on the plus icon. The new layer will be created on top of the picture layer. So here I'll open the picture as my reference. To do that, I'll click on this wrench icon, canvas, turn on the reference. Currently my canvas is the reference here, so I'll click on the image and I'll import image and add that same image here. Right, okay, so here yeah, okay, I can see that the picture is actually flipped here. So either what you can do is you can flip it back, or you can keep it as is. I would like to flip it back, so I'll select everything, right, click on this arrow icon and then flip horizontal, right? So everything is flipped back to its original place. So I'll hide the picture. I'm on layer 3 now. To make sure the color dropping works, I don't touch the outline layer, because it is the layer that have the basic information, the basic outline, right? So instead of color dropping on this same layer, I'll be color dropping on separate layers. So to start with, I'll click on this outline layer, on this reference, right? So reference, what happens now, let me explain you in action. So I'll go on layer 3 and I will be starting with the skin color first. So you can pick the colors from here, like you can pick the colors from here. So I'm picking the brightest color that I can find on their faces, like this. Like this, right? So now I have different shades, right? But what happens here is the color, when you pick the color from the original pictures, it is going to be a little bit less, you can say like less saturated, or it not that much bright, right? So when we do the illustration, we have the liberty to tweak the colors. So to do that, what I'll do, I'll just select this color, okay, and I'll push this dot towards white just a bit, and now I have a brighter version of this one, right? Now because the reference is turned on for this outline layer and the outline is closed surface, what I can do is I can simply color drop the whole thing, right? But because this particular shape is a closed area, that's why this color dropping is working. Otherwise the color drop won't work. So make sure that when you create an outline, it is a closed area and not an open area. You can see here like I have gaps between lines, right? But you have to make sure that the outer area is not does not have spaces, because I have to color this whole jacket in a single color, so it doesn't matter what how the lines are in between that particular shape, but the outline of that shape should be a closed surface, right? I'll select this color, push it towards white a bit. Yeah, this looks okay, and then I'll color drop. Now you can see, because the layer, this shape is closed, that's why I was not able to fill it up on the forehead, so I'll color drop it again there, right? Same for this. Now here you can see these were her hairs, but because it was not closed area, that's why the color of her skin got bleed to the hairs. So what I'll do is 2-finger tap. I'll go back to my outline layer, select the black color, and reduce the size and close the size. I can add the brightness to this whole layer by clicking on this adjustment magic wand icon. Go to hue, saturation, brightness, and you can adjust the brightness from here as well, right? So I think I would like to go for 55%. So I'll just simply now color drop all the colors that I can see here. Now you can pick the color from here and then tweak it and then color fill it. Okay, so sometimes what happens is when you color drop it, the color bleeds and you can see that this shape is closed and you can't figure out what happened. So what we can do here is 2-finger tap, undo. When you go there, you have a color drop threshold, right? Currently it's 95%. So when I move this pencil towards the left hand side, I can reduce the threshold to make sure that I'm coloring in that particular area. If I increase or go on the right side, it will go threshold go to the 100%. And sometimes this happens that even if your area, your shape is closed, the color will bleed out. So make sure you can reduce the threshold. So like if I go 77%, it bleeds out. If I go less than like around 75%, it stays in the shape that I want. So I'll just release the pencil there. Okay, so I'll create a new layer. So this layer 3, I can rename it as skin, and layer 4 I can rename as clothes. So all the clothes for all of them will be on this particular layer. The skin layer have all the skin of all of them on that particular layer. So when you quickly want to color drop, what you can do is just color drop on any area, then you can see a color drop and click on continue filling. So now you can like quickly color drop all the areas, all the small or the big, right? You can even change color in between from the color wheel, but if you want to go and pick color from here, you can do that. Like I've picked color from there and then I have tweaked the colors, and then I can simply tap it in the area that I want the color to be. And then when you're done with the color drop, just click on this and you have all the colors back. So I can see that I've left some of the spaces here, so I'll just quickly go and fill it up. And for the beard, I'll create a new layer above the skin layer, and this will be beard. And for beard, I can take a different brush. This is ink bleed, and I'll take a black color and simply add beard like this. And I can use the same brush as my smudge brush as well. So I'm just simply smudging it. I'll create a new layer on top of it by clicking on this plus icon and rename it as shadows. Add a clipping mask to it. Click on this N icon here. So here I mostly play with blend modes while working on shadows. So what I'll do, I'll turn the blend mode of this particular layer to overlay, and then I will be using like a dark color, so somewhere between pure black to a gray color. Dry ink brush for this, you can use studio pen as well, that's perfectly fine. I just want to show you how the dry ink works for this one, right? So starting with, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add lines where I can smudge them later to create a shadow effect. Once I've done the lines, I can go for the same dry ink brush as my smudge brush, right? And softly smudge these areas like this. So basically what I'm trying to do is just whatever line you have created, decide where you want to smudge it and smudge only on that particular side. Like, don't smudge on the opposite side, but just smudge on one side like this. The size of the brush was quite large, right? So I have smudged it, like overlaid it more on this side rather than on this side. And similarly, I'll color rest of the clothes as well. So this is how the whole thing came out. So once I'm happy with everything, let's convert this into a cute magnet. I used my Cricut to print and cut this illustration on a printable magnetic sheet. And here it is, up on the fridge. What do you think? If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated to all my upcoming videos. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.